let's talk about Jaden Ivey. He shot the ball a lot better down the stretch of the season,
Hmm.
at least from deep. Overall, just kind of seemed more in control of his
Yep.
game as the season went on. What expectations look like for him as kind of the backcourt mate to Cade?
Yeah. And first and foremost for me, Jaden completely um the expectations I had for him coming into his rookie year, he completely like shattered it.
Yeah,
I never really noticed, and I've watched basketball and like closely my entire life. I've been covering a team up close and personal. I just finished my sixth season. I can't really recall a rookie, I should say, who improved um like that each month. Like he struggled with turnovers, and then like they got better as guys went down, and he was the only focus of the offense. He had no mid-range game. The mid-range game became a strength by the end of the season. The three-point shot struggled to start, and then it got better as the season went on. Like he and it like being around him, and he's always the last one in the gym. Like you're not surprised that he got better, but you don't really just see improvements in so many areas through the course of a season, especially in his situation where he had Cade and Bogey early on, so you
yep,
would think it'd be easier for him, but he actually got better when he was the lead ball handler and the focus. So hats off to him, and I think life's going to get easier for him with Cade coming back, right? Because I think if people have questions about Jaden offensively, it's is he a lead guard? Same questions people maybe have about Cade, I guess, but he'll be the secondary, maybe tertiary ball handler. I think he's going to be a fine spot up shooter. I think he'll be able to catch and go, grab and go, and beat guys with his athleticism. Um, I think life's going to be easier for him. I expect a more efficient season. I don't know if the volume will be there. The 3-point volume will probably be there in comparison to last year, but I don't know about like touches and um, just shot attempts in general. But I think he has the opportunity to have a very efficient season. He's got to improve around the rim, but I certainly think that he's a guy who, just based on what I saw his rookie year and the strides he made, like it's hard to kind of put a ceiling on a guy like that when you see that type of improvement so quickly. So um, I certainly think that having Cade back, having Bogey back, assuming Bogey starts, which I would think so, um, I think that's going to help Jaden a lot. It's going to give him more safety valves. It's going to give him other eyes that defenses have to focus on. He'll be going against teams maybe second or third best defender as opposed to first. So I think Jaden's going to be very much a beneficiary, the biggest beneficiary of Cade coming back.
yeah. I was surprised to see that he shot 37% on catch and shoot threes
Mm-hmm.
last season, and then after the All Star break, he's 42.7% catch and shoot threes,
Shocking. It was shocking. Yeah.
which is really great for this team because I mean, they have a lot of ball handlers now, like
Mm-hmm.
including like Monte Morris and Asar Thompson, obviously Cade.
Yep.
And if Jaden Ivey is like a sub 35% catch and shoot 3-point shooter, then that's a problem. But if
Yeah.
he doesn't have to be 42, but if he's like 38, 39%
Yep.
as a
Solves
catch
a
and
lot
shoot
of
guy,
problems.
that is so helpful. And not necessarily an expected outcome this early in his career either. So
Agreed.
that to me is something that I'm really interested to see because I'm worried about like spacing stuff with the Pistons. Like they're going to play a non-shooting big for the most part a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and you have guys like Cade Cunningham who have had like a shaky start to their shot, and Jaden Ivey might be able to help unlock a little bit of that
Yep.
as they
No,
move forward.
I agree, and I think Jaden shot and Isaiah Stewart shot, assuming in my mind it's going to be Duran, Stewart, Bogey, Ivy K to start, are going to be like the sneaky kind of variables that'll determine how good the Pistons will be. Like I believe in Isaiah Stewart's shot. Anybody that follows me knows that.
Yeah,
He shot volume for the first time in his life this past season and ended up around 33%. I he was like on a heater before he went down for the season in January. I think if he would have played 60 to 70 games, he would have ended around like 34, 35%, and people would have a different outcome or a different view on that. but he hurt his shoulder in January and then shot 11% from three in January after shooting 50%, I think, in December from three. Like I believe in that shot. I think they're going to utilize him as a floor spacer. He's just got to do it, right? He's just got to prove it. So
Yeah, he's got to make shots.
yeah, it's just got to be like we can say we believe in it all we want, but once we see it, that doesn't matter. So
And it's
I
about the
think,
other teams caring too. Like that,
yep,
that to me is it. Like he could shoot 35%. And if teams care that he shoots, like you've done it, you've
right,
unlocked it. But
yep,
I don't think teams care today if
agreed,
Isaiah Stewart shoots threes.
agreed, I agree. And that's I think sneakily that and Jaden's ability to, because I don't know if teams care if Jaden shoots spot ups either right now. I
Yeah.
know the numbers are there, but it didn't feel like teams really respected it when it
It's
did
also
happen.
hard. It's also so hard to tell what's real and what's not with a team at the end of the season that is
Right,
clearly not going anywhere
right,
because everybody knows like, okay, we don't really have to show up all that much. And the Pistons like shocked some people down the stretch just
yeah,
because other teams just thought they would just roll over and die.
right.
And they have a lot of guys, a lot of competitive players that just kept going. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to decide what is real and what is not for guys like this down the stretch. Like
And I,
I
yeah,
don't know.
and I think that was from the Pistons' perspective as an organization and long term outlook. I think that was the biggest hindrance of Cade being out, right?
Yeah.
Like you weren't really able to put your core together and see what it looks like or see what needs to happen, or um, you basically were out of any type of competitive basketball by December, right? So
Yep.
um, it just really kind of clouded the evaluation process. And I guess they were obviously able to evaluate guys, but just in terms of evaluating as a unit, and seeing what it looks like, and hopefully playing like a little bit more meaningful basketball than they did, changes things, and probably not only how the organization views certain guys, but I think how pieces fit and work together. So that's going to be a thing too that needs to be considered this year. Like they've obviously played a lot together this summer. You saw they were out at the Rico Hines runs, and I'm sure they've gotten together. I don't know the league rules, but like I'm sure they've gotten together in other settings this summer. But um, it's just not the same until you get on the floor in an NBA setting. So there are going to be like I would assume wrinkles to figure out. But in their to their benefit, they got a pretty heavy schedule to start the year. So I guess if you're gonna have to iron out some things, like that's as good of a situation in the NBA as you can get, is a pretty home heavy top of the order.